I have catching up I want to do with both of you, but we can do it on the show, I think.
That's fine.
With me too?
No, not really.
I talk to you all the time. I know.
I was like, feel left out.
What have we missed?
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing tonight, my friend, and what are you drinking?
I'm doing good. I got an early start on the drinking.
Ooh.
This is my second Yeti-sized hot toddy of the evening, which is actually a lot. Now that I say that sentence out loud, that's actually quite a lot.
Preston's going to be getting loose tonight.
Yeah. It's not for any particular reason. They just are nice.
No reason in particular. It was kind of a rough week.
Yes, it was. I wasn't going to get into it, but yeah, my whole job sucked this week. So
okay, I won't bring it up.
I've been drinking a lot this weekend. But before the hot toddies, I was drinking Baja Blast and vodka because they finally started selling Baja Blast in stores around here. So I was like, let's go. Let's Baja Blast it up, baby.
There's got to be a name. You know, like there's like a Jaeger bomb, you know, is like a thing,
right?
Jaeger. There's got to be a name for a Baja Blast.
It's called a Baja Blasted.
Okay, I guess that was kind of right there for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I feel like we could do better than that. We'll think about it throughout the episode. See if we
vodka blast.
Yeah, there you go.
That doesn't sound good. It sounds
we got
bad.
there right away. We are thrilled to be joined this week by the man with the hottest movie takes in America. They're so hot since the last time he was on. He started his own movie podcast.
America. Move over, Roger Ebert.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Roger, he doesn't come in for hot takes.
No,
he comes in for very measured takes.
What is this for? What is this measuring out of for? It's bullshit.
It is a weird choice.
Yeah, it's dumb.
John Wolf, how do you guys rate movies? What's your scale on Everyone's a Real Critic, your new movie podcast? I love the concept for this. They review, or they watch a movie that has a very differing Rotten Tomatoes score between critics and audience and decide who's correct.
You nailed it on the head, Daniel, honestly. I think that it's okay to say that I have hotter takes than Roger Ebert. He's dead. So he doesn't have any takes right now.
No. He hotted his final take.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, he did.
I had no idea Roger Ebert died.
He's Baja Blasted, so
Baja Blasted his way into
right.
the grave.
He's long gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
He died 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it enough time for us to make insensitive jokes about it? It sounds like yes.
Yeah.
So
how did we not know this?
So.
And how is he still considered like the most I think it's because RogerEbert.com still posts reviews, right?
Yeah, that's right. They do. They have a little cult of movie critics that post reviews.
Yeah, I admittedly don't read his reviews. Never really have. So but I know that they exist. So I assumed that was still him. I think is going to be my excuse for thinking someone
critiquing from the grave. How about that, huh?
He and Herman Cain.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Hey man, happy to be here again. I think this is my third appearance on the show.
So. That sounds right.
And we've already killed a guy. Or well, I guess he was already dead. So far so good.
That's true.
Everyone's a real critic. Give it a listen. We look at different movies that have a 20% difference between critic and audience score, and we decide who got it right. So we have one coming out tomorrow, The Northman. I know Preston's hyped about that one. I gave him a review of it, but you'll have to listen tomorrow to see what else it's about.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird when halfway through the movie they turn it into a rom-com and Amanda Bynes shows up.
Yeah, that was wild.
Like, what is this then? Yeah. So other than that, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, and then you learn the Norse invented soccer. It's a whole weird thing. Yeah,
that is very strange.
See, that would probably be the only part that I would like about it.
Oh, would you?
Yeah. John, who has the higher batting average? Who wins more? The higher win percentage, I guess I should say, not batting average. Who wins, the critic or the fan? You strike me as a kind of guy that's going to side with the viewers more often.
Well, you know what, Daniel? It's something we say all the time on our podcast. You know, you could go critic, you could go audience, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. because
way to
everyone's a real
sell the
critic.
pod. Way
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
sell
really.
the
It
concept
really
of the
doesn't
pod.
matter.
Might as well not listen, people.
Yeah.
It's really just up to you anyways.
Yeah.
You know, it really doesn't matter what anyone thinks. You
I
should
would
just
say-
watch movies and see if you like them.
I mean, I would say, and Preston's a movie head. Daniel, not so much. I think Daniel, your favorite movie is Love Actually, which is fine.
No, it's actually the third Thor movie.
Ragnarok. That works.
Interesting.
That's acceptable.
It is the only Marvel movie.
That's the one
just-
that's actually good. I meant the second Thor movie.
Yes. I was going to say the
Oh.
joke didn't land because people love Thor Ragnarok. You really meant Thor the Dark World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes more sense.
You could have said the first Hulk movie, the Eric Bana Hulk movie. And that also
No, I needed it to be a sequel.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's fair.
gotcha. For the prerequisite joke. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I love it.
John, are you drinking anything tonight?
I am drinking something. I have a craft beer here from New York City. It's from a place called Talea. It is a female owned and operated brewery down here in local Brooklyn. And I am drinking, unfortunately, their beer is great. I'll say that. But this beer has been in my fridge for 3 months. So it's a little flat. But
Wait, three months is not that bad.
Like, is it not canned? Was it in a?
oh no, it's canned. And I will say that I have I'm not sponsored by anyone and I won't say the name, but I have a very nice tool here that keeps your beer nice and cold. It has a little puck at the bottom, keeps it freezing. It's been out of the fridge for maybe an hour, so still good.
Wow.
Why is your beer flat after 3 months in the fridge?
It was
Yeah, that's
laying
bad.
sideways, I guess. I don't know. It's not
Is that a thing?
flat, but it's not crisp. I don't know. Should we get a beer
Interesting.
guy on here?
Yeah, let's call the beer guy.
Preston's brother, I think, is probably a beer guy.
Huge beer guy.
Let's get him on.
Yeah, we somehow still don't have any kind of sponsorship set up with him. Really find that curious.
He switches companies every 6 months. It's hard to pin him down.
We'll switch companies every 6 months. We have no brand
Yeah.
loyalty here.
And you're
That's what the sponsors want to hear. Clip that,
Hey.
send it to them.
Listen, we're loyal
I
to
love
the
that.
brands while they sponsor us. You know,
Fair.
that's all they
Totally
need.
Oh,
fair.
absolutely. I'd be
Why
sponsored
don't-
by anyone. Give me a
Why don't
call.
we just say that this is sponsored by stamps.com? Because it just seems like we could do that. And I don't think they would really check, right? So everybody go to stamps.com/drafted.
Yeah.
Click the little mic and put in promo code drafted20 for 20% off your first month of stamps.com. They'll send you a free digital scale in the mail.
Is
Screw
that
going
what
to the
Stamps is
post
doing?
office.
Are they sending people free
digital
scales?
scale?
Yes.
So you
yeah.
can measure out your drugs before you
Do you guys
mail
know
them? I
how
don't
do you
get
guys
what's
not
the
know
point.
how stamps.com works?
I don't know. I thought Stamps.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
I thought you
I've been
could
learning
buy
about
stamps.
stamps.com
I didn't know you
since
got a free digital
2013.
scale.
Yeah.
That's an incredible freebie, I feel.
Well, Stamps is a monthly membership program, so it's worth it for them to send you a little digital scale.
I see.
Totally.
Anyways, go to stamps.com/drafted.
Speaking of stamps, I hear that they have stamps in South Africa, John. Can you confirm that?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I
Oh,
was in
fuck.
East Africa.
East Africa. I don't know why I thought
yeah,
South
yeah.
Africa. And East Africa.
Wait, John, could you just go real quick and see if you can find
Yeah.
it for us?
I
see if
could
they have
have
stamps.
Google it.
I'm gonna check
Hold
my
on.
text.
Let me see if Google
I-
will tell me.
I swear this man told me he was in South Africa. I swear. I'm gonna check the text. But anyway, John, you were celebrating
that's
your
okay.
honeymoon. Your honeymoon in
I
in
was.
Africa. How was that?
I was. It was amazing. It was a great 2-week trip over to Africa. I quickly learned when we got back that there's really no good way about telling people that you went on a 2-week honeymoon in Africa without sounding like a complete douchebag that went on a 2-week honeymoon in Africa. So
I did get that. I
usually-
got that as soon
yeah.
as you said it. I was like,
Yeah, here we go. Let me tell you about how like I'm changing my life and now doing everything differently. I quit my job. No, it was amazing, dude. Highly recommend it. If you ever want to go, let me know. I'll go back with you.
Wow,
oh, that's a good offer.
John offering
Yeah.
to go on a honeymoon with me. I appreciate that.
Interesting.
Hey, if you make the move,
Wow. Okay. Recently
I
married,
might
already
take you
on the
up on
market. Okay.
I might
Okay.
take you up on that. Okay, well, I might have to take you up on that offer, John. But first, we do have a draft to do tonight. What are we drafting this week, Preston?
We are drafting a movie marathon. 6 movies each. Is it going to be enjoyable? TBD. Because the list we are using is the list of 50 most, what is the adjective they use here? 50 best good, bad movies. This is from, and I think this merits discussion, theringer.com. Now, listener, when Daniel, halfway through to this lovely Sunday, sent me a link from theringer.com, I think you may be able to tell where my brain immediately went to, which is Daniel really about to actually use The Ringer as a source for a full episode of Drafted when he so vitriolically hates its
Creator?
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about that so we can move on to the actual substance of the show?
I do hate Bill Simmons. That will always be correct. But I also, the one thing I think you have to give Bill Simmons is he does kind of create like a good environment seemingly for people who are actually enjoyable content creators to create enjoyable content.
Interesting.
That's
Isn't that
always,
what Jeff Bezos does? So you're big on with Jeff Bezos too, right?
That's not at all what Jeff Bezos does. You may have pulled a muscle on that reach. I think I want to get that looked at. Yeah, I don't think Bill Simmons is like, making the world a worse place nearly to the extent that Jeff Bezos is either.
It's fair.
I think he just is an obnoxious Boston sports fan.
Yeah,
and that is a sin of the highest order. But I mean, he just brings a lot of talented writers and podcasters to his website. So
yeah, well, you can look at the actual article and see how they actually developed this list, but there are 50 movies. They range all over the place. The thing to understand here is, much like John's show, most of them have a high amount of cultural relevance is how they measure it, with a very low critical score. Yeah, and that's the list of 50 we're going to have to draft from. And now my other clarifying question here is, we're drafting 6 movies. I guess like we're not really trying to make the best movie marathon, but like the most enjoyable. I think we'll have to consider like variety, have to consider like what point of the night you're in where like something can be so bad it's good again, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think so.
Perfect.
There are movies on here that I do actually enjoy though, so I think this is fun. This will be a fun draft. Also, I just want to say it was I love the idea for the draft. It just is very difficult to find a list that actually fits, and then if we didn't have a list, we would just be left to our own devices trying to find of the thousands of movies that have like a below 50% Rotten Tomato score, and like it just would have been a nightmare. So we are doing the best we can here. Okay, we're doing the best we can. And our draft order for this evening: John will have the first pick, Preston will draft second, and then I will have the third pick. And of course, on even rounds, reverse order for the snake style draft. Of course, that draft order, as always, determined by our dear friends whom we've never met at random.org. So
dear friend that we think may not exist and may actually just be a bot.
Yeah.
Random.org.
Well, so a person had to have made the bot. We're not at the point where bots are making other bots. I don't think. I mean, not to that extent.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope not.
Okay.
If you need a random list, go to random.org /drafted and put in code Preston, and you'll get
20% off your first random list.
Get a free digital scale from random.org. It'll give you it gives you a random weight. It doesn't matter what you put on it. But great value.
This piece of paper weighs 3 tons.
All right. Are we ready to get this draft underway, fellas?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, John, why don't you take us away? The first pick of the best bad movie marathon draft.
Yeah, man. I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to go first. I just kind of wanted to feel it out. So, I mean, There's a lot of,
I'll trade with you.
No.
We don't do trades.
We don't do this.
I tried to do trades my first time here. We don't do trades.
I'll trade my 5th round pick.
No.
And
for 2
my
first
round pick for your 1st and your 6th.
Whoa.
No. So
that actually seems like it could end up being fair, but no, we don't want to do this.
It could. We're not going to do it because I'll forget. Like Preston said, there's a lot that goes into a marathon. because you want to set it up right. You don't want to start too hardcore and then sort of lose your way afterwards. And you want to start with like a movie that really gets you engaged, gets you going, wanting more. So with my first pick, I'm going to go White Chicks with my first pick.
Wow.
And hear me out. The reason I go White Chicks with my first pick is because there's a little bit of action, but there's a lot of laughs, and it gets you feeling engaged. It gets you excited, gets the energy up before you get into the rest of your marathon.
Okay. The last time I saw this movie was edited for TV when I was like, I don't know, 11. Does this movie hold?
Absolutely. I think it depends on what part of the country you're in. Yeah, I watch it all the time.
I will say what I am envisioning is 100% a TV marathon.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is a great place to start the TV marathon, honestly. And I'm not going to spoil anything, or maybe a bit of foreshadowing, but Martin Lawrence.
You don't want to spoil White Chicks, which came out in 2004. When did White Chicks come out?
Yeah, spoiler alert. No, but not Martin Lawrence, but the Lawrence brothers. They have quite a few movies on this list.
They do.
I don't know who you're talking about. I have to assume you're talking about the Wayans brothers, who are actually the stars of the films. I don't think the Lawrence brothers are the brothers who exist.
That's true. It's Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence. Yeah.
Martin Lawrence is in a couple of these, though, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And his brother, Martin Lawrence.
Yeah. Dang. Man, that's tough. Well, it kind of goes along with not for me.
Guys, be sure to check out movie expert John Wolf's podcast. Everyone's a real critic.
I will say that my Google document that I tried to retrieve got completely deleted. So that is part of it. But
I'm at the seat of his pants over here. Okay.
Yeah, I will say that kind of aligns with what I was saying about depending on what part of the country you're in, you might really like White Chicks.
What do you mean by that, John?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you elaborate?
Yeah, anywhere where there's some white chicks, you're gonna love this movie. No, anytime that you enjoy men dressing up as women, get a little bit of drag.
Now, would you say that that's regionally determined?
Yeah,
I can tell you that there's some people that don't like that kind of thing.
I feel like John is like walking through a minefield,
and Daniel and I are
replacing more as he goes. We're like, oh dang, he missed that one. Let's put another one right in front of his feet.
Oh yeah. No, this is great. This is great. How many more you got? There's a lot of police presence in this movie. That a lot of people.
That's what a lot of people want these days.
And what's interesting is that the main characters in this movie feel that they need to dress up as white chicks to get through the police presence. I think that maybe has a lot to say about society. Maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking.
Turns out White Chicks was way ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time.
It's so woke.
It's so woke. It's the wokest film of 2003, whatever.
I actually absolutely nailed it. It came out in 2004.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Okay. Well,
Preston, do you have thoughts beyond the like those White Chicks on your list? Yeah. We'll give John a breather.
I think we should just move on and let John.
I
did not have this on my list.
I had it. I had it in my S tier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it turns out I was massively sleeping on White Chicks.
It's been a very long time since I've seen it. Admittedly, none of it ages well at all. I'm sure.
That's what I was thinking.
It doesn't.
But I struggle to think of a more like middle of the day TV movie that has ever been made than White Chicks.
It's perfect. It's like, I guess it depends on when you're starting your marathon, but prime nap time. You can fall asleep, wake back up. You haven't missed anything, and that should be something that.
What a pick for your first round pick to say you could basically just sleep through it and it'll be fine.
I think it's a good pick. Yeah, I think it's a good pick. All right, Preston, what's your first selection?
I am taking a movie that I watched all the time as a kid. We had the VHS for it, and I would literally finish it, I would rewind it, and I would start again. I haven't seen it in quite some time, but I feel like it's just fun, and it's just going to hold up. And that's 1998's Godzilla.
Ooh,
nice.
Just like a corny, awesome action movie. The design of Godzilla is really cool. I had all the little toys for it when I was a kid. That thing was awesome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very cool. I think the new Godzilla movies are better. Yeah. But this one was also pretty good.
That's a problem, I would say, because the new Godzilla movies are not good.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, they are. What are you talking about? Okay, this is another problem that you and I just need to constantly discuss. I think you have an inability to have fun sometimes.
That's not true. I
like watch a movie and be like, wow, there's a big dinosaur breathing blue fire. That's wild. And like engage. And I'll be like, how come that blue dinosaur hasn't talked about his B plot for revenge or something in the third act? No. He's just a big dinosaur and he breathes fire and it looks cool.
See, you're being unfair here because I have not seen the Godzilla versus King Kong movie. That is awesome. Like the most recent Godzilla movie. The problem with the most recent trailer of Godzilla movie is that there is almost none of Godzilla fucking breathing blue fire, which is actually like nuclear breath.
So it makes that final moment just so cool. You see it like revving up and it's like
that part is cool.
It's awesome.
That is I saw it in theaters and it was like I lost my mind at that part. But it takes like 2 hours of fucking Aaron Taylor Johnson being a pouty little bitch before we get to that point.
Okay, so would you say that this Godzilla movie is better than the new ones?
No, this movie sucks. This movie isn't good. This movie is absolutely panned, and for good reason. Like, why is Matthew Broderick in a Godzilla movie?
It's good.
Why is Hank Azaria in a Godzilla
This movie's enjoyable to watch in terms of like a kind of TV middle of the day action flick. It's got some cool stuff.
I can't go there with you. I think it's a fine pick. It was on my list. I had it much lower though.
Tell me something you love so I can tell you it's bad. Pokemon. Pokemon's bad.
What?
You don't.
We talked about this on a previous episode, so we actually don't need to get back into that.
You don't believe that? Okay. I think honestly, so I didn't see Godzilla when I was a kid, so I can understand like movies like this are just born to like have nostalgia for when you don't have the filter to like understand what a good movie is yet. You know what I mean? It's like if it sneaks in before
like Star Wars,
not like Star Wars in any way.
Get him, John! Come on!
Anyway, like Star Wars.
Get him!
All right, we're just
light him up.
All right, we're gonna move on. Before John does this to himself again. Okay, this is an easy pick for me. I'm taking The Room.
Oh,
nice.
But for a marathon, though, that was one thing. Like I was thinking about, like, man, when you watch that, are you excited to keep watching another movie after that, or are you just really excited to watch something else after that? Which one is it?
Not to reveal my draft strategy. I'm about to take The Room 5 more times.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh hi, dog.
Oh hi, Mark. I did not hit her. I did not.
I think of these movies, at least the ones that I have seen, The Room is like by miles and miles the most enjoyable to watch.
I'd say that's potentially, it's up there. I also had this in S tier for sure.
Wow.
Have you
seen it, John? The challenge here is like, out of these 50 movies, you can place them on a spectrum from good to bad. And the challenge here, and I think Daniel was saying this about my Godzilla pick basically, is you don't want to pick the things in the middle because the middle is boring. You want to pick either end of the spectrum. I would argue that Godzilla is just like fun. It's got some cool action stuff. He's tearing down buildings. He's coming out of the ocean. They got big footprints. I don't know, man. Gives me like Jurassic Park vibes. It's awesome. I dig it.
Yeah, that's fair.
For this one, you are on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, and that's good. Yeah. That's what you want.
But Daniel, do you enjoy like being uncomfortable? Do you enjoy like hurting yourself? Do you like laugh? Do you like pinch your skin?
Don't kink shame me on my own podcast.
Like, yeah, what's going on?
Do not kink shame me on my own podcast, okay?
God, listen, that is such a cringy movie. I don't know.
It's so bad. It's so bad that it's great. It's so bad that it's great.
It's the quintessential one of those.
Yeah, it really is.
It gives me like secondhand embarrassment when I watch it. Like,
because you're thinking about, somebody had to make this.
Well,
somebody had to edit it, and somebody had to film it. and then release it.
Yeah,
It's great. It's so good. I love The Room. Next, I'm going to go in a completely different direction. I think The Room is going to be a one-off for me. For starters, there just aren't very many movies more on this list that are like it in any way. But I had to take it because it's the only movie really here that I like actually enjoy watching. But next, I'm going.
Do you really enjoy watching it multiple times?
When was the last time you watched it?
I mean, it's been like a few years.
You would watch it again though. If I came over and I was like, "Hey, let's watch The Room," you would watch it with me.
Yeah, honestly.
If someone came
I want
over,
our listeners to know Daniel was lying with his eyes there.
Yeah,
He absolutely not. He said, "Can we do anything else, please?"
No, I will say I think it's much more fun to watch with a group. So I would be like, yeah, I'll invite some friends over and we'll watch The Room. We'll have drinks and snacks and we'll watch The Room together.
Drinks and snacks. What kind of snacks you serving?
Yeah,
some popcorn, of course.
Okay.
Peanut butter pretzels,
ice cream, some peanut butter pretzels,
ice cream. So Daniel, you're telling me
ice cream out on the counter and just watch it melt away during The Room.
No, you get out the ice cream after the people have the salty snacks.
After the dramatic Act 2 turn of The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people are trying to kill themselves from a brain freeze, you put out the ice cream for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get it. Okay. My next pick is another movie that I think I was kind of surprised to see in this list because I think this is one that I would like to see John do on his podcast because people genuinely like this movie. It has a 78% critic, or not critic, but a 70% audience like on Rotten Tomatoes. And I didn't check every single movie, but I would venture to say it's got to be one of the highest ones of any on this list. I'm taking Bad Boys 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah, I had that up there for me.
Yeah.
Even having never seen it, I had it up there for me.
You've never seen
what
it?
she said. No, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's a great one. I was
I haven't
surprised.
seen either of the Bad Boys.
It is very
movies.
fun. So I think people say Bad Boys 2 is like significantly better than Bad Boys 1, or at least like more enjoyable. Maybe like
it is
not as good as like a critical film, but more fun.
I agree. And Bad Boys 3
it
is
stars the Lawrence brothers, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
The Lawrence brothers, Mike Lowry Lawrence and Martin Lawrence.
Yep. Wow.
Well done. Well
I
done.
just love those two. Yeah, it's a good pick. I haven't seen it, so I don't have much more to say. Although I know a lot of people who love it. So
yeah, it's just like a great brain dead
Iconic.
TV action flick. Yeah,
And it's the opposite of The Room, which is great because after that, you are just looking for anything to stimulate you on the screen. And Bad Boys 2 has it all. It has boats doing flips. It has motorcycles doing flips. It has fire everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat it.
You really can't.
And the Lawrence bros are in it. As you said.
And who doesn't love the Lawrence brothers? All right, Preston, it's time for your pick once again.
Torn between two here. I'm gonna do a little bit of reconnaissance for a second.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
While Preston's looking, I just want the world to know that Martin Lawrence does have a brother, Robert Lawrence. I don't think he's an actor, but it does exist.
that was going to be my follow-up. That was my follow-up question.
Good research there, John.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'm going to take another kind of corny cliche action flick that has a relatively high score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember it just being like dumb fun. And I think dumb fun is going to be the theme of my entire draft here.
I think it's a good theme to go for with this draft.
And that's Con Air.
Oh man, good choice.
Thank you.
Those two back to back were great.
Yeah, you're really grabbing the late 90s vibe by its neck here.
Yeah, baby. That's what's gonna make people want to come over. I think we should host these nights with our finished list. Whoever can get more people to come over wins.
Well,
that's just a popularity contest at that point.
I know, right? That's not fair.
What is this show, Dan? What are we even doing if not a popularity contest?
Yeah, it's fair.
It's why the guest wins every time. It's because they're more popular than we are.
I think I've lost every time, but I'll be serving better ice cream. So
there you go.
Stuck on that.
On
What
the
is
ice cream?
what is
Yeah.
better ice cream, John? What is better ice
I don't know. Whatever Daniel gets, I'll just get a better kind.
I'm getting Ben and Jerry's.
I'll
Ben and Jerry's
Okay.
2, the sequel.
yeah.
The sequel to Ben and Jerry's.
I'll just get a better flavor than you.
Nah, that's impossible.
What's a
gotta
better flavor, John?
I mean, you got to get cookie dough. I think half baked probably is what I would get.
Half baked is very good.
Or they have a rare limited edition s'mores version. Amazing. I'll probably get that too.
Why did you say that in such a sexual way?
Some more.
S'mores.
Yeah, that was like
Some
very.
more.
It's very seductive the way you said that.
Well, you know, I'm trying to get people over to my casa to watch some movies. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways,
I like the Con Air
thank-
pick a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's solid.
I don't think Daniel and I have ever actively tried to mess a guest up more than the first. We're like lobbing shit at you. No, like name a kind, name names.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I'm quick on my feet, I guess.
Mhm.
Daniel, you never talked about what you're drinking tonight, by the way. I saw a
Oh,
little lemon in there.
I always forget that. I forgot that last
okay.
week too, and I was upset with myself. Thank you,
Yeah.
John. I am just having a gin and tonic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I worked all weekend. I don't have work the next 2 days, so I figured I'd have a real drink for the evening.
A real drink. What would you like call a not real drink?
Whatever you're drinking.
I mean,
John.
you know what I'm saying. I'm just like not just a single beer, something that'll get me a little
Not
bit
just
Oh,
a
my
single
bad.
beer
buzz.
in a,
Wow.
in
I
a
feel like I
bullshit
just got-
little koozie that you
Yeah, you
Also,
soft.
now that
little-
we're on the subject, you said I don't know why, but this beer is flat, and then you proceeded to say that the beer had been out of the fridge for,
For
an
2
hour.
hours. Yeah.
What are you doing? You're like, oh, better get prepped for draft time and put this beer right on the desk.
I think we need
Yeah.
a forensics expert to get on the case of why John's beer was flat. We couldn't possibly
Agreed.
figure it out.
Agreed. Well, I feel very called out and like I should get a refill or something. Maybe I should just like
Find
drink
a
straight
new
from a
podcast
bottle.
or
or
Wait,
something.
wait till the first break. It's coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It'll be easier for
Um,
editing that way. All right, John, why don't you make a pick here? You've got back-to-back picks for the end of the second and start of the third round.
B to B, huh?
Mhm.
All right.
That's what they call it in the biz.
Like Drake. So my next pick, I'm gonna go with a great movie, Wesley Snipes. I'm gonna go with Demolition Man for my next
Nice.
movie. Thank you.
Very nice.
Did you know in this movie, and one of the reasons I picked it as a marathon because it's going to get people in the mood around this time. You've watched one movie, it's around 2 hours, you're into your next movie, usually when you start getting hungry. Taco Bell has a big part in this movie. They actually paid $15 million to have the part that they do in this movie. And I think that's
15 million?
15.
15, okay.
So I think that is a
Much more
perfect time.
reasonable.
Yeah, to get the fourth meal going.
I like
a
that.
part of my marathon. Yeah, so I got Demolition Man next.
Get a couple of Taco 12 packs. I like it.
Hell
This
yeah.
is
Here
one I
for
have
it.
not seen, but based on the name alone, it feels like a good pick to me.
You've never
Yeah.
seen it?
No.
Daniel.
Have you seen Demolition Man, Preston?
Absolutely. And that one part where he does the
demolishing? Yeah.
The
Yeah,
demolishing.
yeah.
Oh, it's so sick, dude. I
Yeah.
could just watch that over and over. And then when she dies, oh John, when she dies,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wild.
And he's just like, man. And then they're like,
Man.
oh, Demolition. Man.
and then fade to
Totally.
black, roll credits. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great film. What a classic.
Totally.
What a
That'll
classic.
be our bonus poll. Have you seen Demolition Man?
How many movies on this list have you guys seen?
I think I had seen like 16 or 17.
That's
I'm at-
pretty high.
I'm
That's
at
pretty good.
16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are both good.
What are
about
you at?
John? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
I don't
count?
remember. I'll have to go back and look. Probably around the same.
It sounds like lower. Okay.
It might be lower. No, I think it's around the same, around 15, 16. I didn't watch Godzilla, the one that you saw, Preston.
Really
my
give it
par-
a watch.
my parents, not named Preston, they didn't let me watch cool movies like that. They actually made me watch Batman Beyond, like on VHS nonstop, which is a
Fabulous.
terrible movie. Yeah,
They
also
Nope,
not on
nope,
this
It's
list.
great. It's great.
Not on this list.
Your parents made you watch a movie?
Yeah.
My
How did they
parents
do that?
made me watch The Patriot and Passion of the Christ back to back.
At what age?
way too young.
2 weeks ago.
The Passion of the Christ had just come out on DVD. So
we were like 7 or 8, I feel, when that came out.
That's correct.
John, I don't know
My
how we
next
got
pick.
here from you selecting Demolition Man, but it is now time for your third selection.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Jesus is doing some demolition in current times. So.
If we keep referencing this, I'm
All
gonna
right.
have to keep it in the show.
Just leave it in for the
if you want to.
Yeah,
if
but
you
you
want to,
can't keep talking about Jesus. People are gonna think he's weird if it's not
Well-
in the actual cut.
They
Well-
probably already think that.
hey, if you want to hear what we said about Jesus, you'll have to subscribe and be a Patreon to get that access.
See,
so make
Preston,
sure.
he's got the right
To
idea.
hear the word. To
Yeah,
hear the good word.
yeah. Make sure you do that.
Hey guys, now we're like an actual church. We're asking for money.
Yeah. With my next pick, so I just went Demolition Man.
Yeah, 20 minutes ago you took Demolition.
Yeah, for those that are still with us, my next pick is going to be also surprised to see this one on the list. Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
That was in my A tier. And would have fit right in with my vibe for the night, which is like
It would
weird
have.
stunts. Yeah.
Great stunts. I think I'm pretty sure this is when they started the face swap, where they
Yes.
took like the thing off their face and they did it a few times. Like, I'm glad movies got that. It needed.
It's
that.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
You can't beat
it's
it.
probably the worst Mission Impossible movie, but
Without
that's
a doubt.
still pretty good.
Mhm.
It's not that bad. If
No.
that's your worst movie and you've made what, like 7 of them, then you're doing okay.
And it made over
Didn't they get
half
like a
bill.
lot better though at like 4 or something like that? They were like very mediocre. Then they like
Well, yeah,
We're
Tom
doing all the
Cruise
same.
hit a phase of his life where he was willing to die making a film, and then they got really good.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. They got really good. And he had his disgusting hair at this point where it was just almost
Yep.
down to his shoulder. Yeah, slick back.
Real
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And then he found Scientology and it got better from there.
It all went
Really did it.
uphill.
really did it.
Good
All right,
pick.
yeah, it's a solid pick. So I think it doesn't light my world on fire, but it's solid. It's a solid pick.
Well, I'm not picking for you, so
That's true. You got me there. All right, Preston. Where are you going here?
I'd almost forgotten that John had picked twice.
Mhm.
All right. I'm gonna stick with my gut. John took the worst movie of a great franchise. I'm also gonna take the worst movie of a great franchise
Oh,
and take
man.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
this is a great pick.
Great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I recently watched all the Fast movies back to back to back to back, and
You
over the
watched
period of
all
maybe
10?
over the period of maybe like
Or
9 or
9,
10
sorry.
days. 9 or 10 days, maybe. I think this series is remarkable because every single one of them hits not in the middle. They're either so bad that they're hysterically funny to watch, or they're like pretty good action movies with like some really creative scenes and stuff. The dialogue and the characters are always bad. But as soon as they start getting in cars, you're like, okay, this is creative. Now they're driving an 18-wheeler backwards down a mountain, and they have a rocket launcher that they're going to use to build a ramp that's going to propel them over a quarry. Like, oh, this is cool.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Good news, that never happened. I just made it up. But the fact that you can't tell is a testament to the franchise.
John, I saw your reaction. Defend the characters and story lines in Fast and Furious movies.
I mean, you just talk about characters that are so flushed out and
Name
really
them.
like their motivations.
Name all of them. Name all of them, please.
Letty.
There's one.
And
Vin
then
Diesel.
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom Toretto. Then you have, the other guys. And- No, but I mean, like, look, I love
CGI
this.
Paul Walker.
CGI Paul Walker. Well, not at this point. It's real.
Did
Paul
they
Walker
actually
at
do
this
that?
point. Yeah, they did. And
In one of the later movies. I thought like they made it seem like he was going to be the entire movie. He was not. He was in for like a shot. And the way they did it was like canonical to like this guy's passed on and we're trying to be like respectful. And I actually thought it was kind of
it's been a long day.
Let's not do this.
That's my friend.
Also, great songs in all of these movies. Just
Absolutely.
great needle drops. I
Yep.
mean,
What?
I'm too
Sorry.
fast, too furious, too fast for y'all, man. Great song. Yeah, it just doesn't get any better than this movie. They're all about family. I love that for a marathon, Preston, because you're like bringing everyone together.
To be
And
fair,
this-
none of the family people are in this one,
Right.
which is a problem. But
Yeah.
it was the only Fast movie. On
Kind of
the-
a family theme developing for Preston with Con Air as well. Family, of course, a driving theme, isn't it? It's all about him like getting to see his daughter again.
I suppose.
It's like the whole premise of the film.
He is reuniting with his wife. Yeah.
I guess I don't remember this.
That's why he has like the stuffed bunny because he's bringing the stuffed. Or is it a bunny? I think it's a bunny. Stuffed animal of some sort to his daughter who he hasn't seen in years.
Yeah.
Come
But
on,
he's
guys! You're acting
with
like you've
his-
not seen the film.
His prison family the whole time.
Yep.
All right, let's not go down that path. I think this is a very good pick, Preston. I for sure was going to take it with my next selection.
Awesome.
That's a great pick. I think honestly, I feel like this should have gone a lot sooner. If only because like people are going to see the Fast and the Furious, even if like even if it's
Yeah.
the worst one, it'd be like,
They're like,
Fast and
oh, it's one of
Furious.
those. Yeah.
It's the only Fast and Furious movie that was available to be picked. So I think it's a great selection. To close out the first half of the draft, I am going to take now the closest thing to a Fast and Furious movie, which is still left, and that is Triple X.
Great pick.
Oh, so good. Triple X was the pre Fast and Furious. I
Yeah.
don't care if the timing works out. I don't care. This was like we could make a whole bunch of these and
Mhm.
people will eat them up.
Mhm.
I love this movie. It's so dumb. It would have fit right in with my crew here, my family I'm making.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's another one of those that we had like the DVD for, and I would just watch it all the time.
And can't
Oh,
you
for
just
sure.
see? I know the room doesn't fit in here, but can't you just see on like FXX in the middle of a Saturday afternoon, Bad Boys 2 being followed immediately by Triple X?
Triple X.
Like that,
Absolutely.
that probably actually happens every other Saturday.
Yes.
That's their beginning to a Vin Diesel marathon. Then they
Yeah.
play the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yep.
Yeah, all
It's
of
a
them.
Vin Diesel marathon, but they don't play any of the good Vin Diesel movies.
Yeah.
They play that one where he has to take over as a babysitter, whatever.
Oh,
that
the
was called.
pacifier. Great
Pacifier.
pick.
Pacifier.
Yeah, I wish that one were on
Yeah.
this list.
What was
Yeah.
the one? What was it? Babylon AD, where he looks at
Yep.
someone and then impregnates her on the spot. That was wild.
That's
Um,
actually in Passion of the Christ 2 that you're thinking of.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
I-
great pick, Xander Cage.
Thank
Great
you.
pick.
Thank you. I had a friend in third or fourth grade. I think fourth grade.
Was that the last time you had a friend, or?
Jeez, man.
What are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, messed
Sorry.
up.
I'm sorry. I'm
Energy.
sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just tossing the
it
grenades
is the
back.
last time I had a friend. Okay. Thanks for bringing
Wow.
it up.
I guess
Yeah,
I'm
you have
just
to
I don't
say it.
consider either of you my
trash.
friend. I don't
Just
consider either of you my
cheap
friend.
shit right here. It's cool.
And he, like Triple X came out around that time, and I don't think any of us had even seen it, but we'd seen the trailers. And he took a pencil and like did the Triple X on the back of his
Oh
neck.
no.
Yeah,
Did you do it?
I didn't, but he did it. He didn't do it like badly, but he did it enough like it made like 3 red X's on the back of his neck. Because
Ooh.
that's the kind of cultural impact that Triple X had on all of us.
Oh my god. How would you do that? Like behind your back? It seems hard.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it
impressive.
didn't look like the 3 X's in the
Yeah.
movie. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But he did the best he could as a fourth grader.
Good
That's
pick.
pretty impressive. Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, and I remember it to this day. Thank you. I do appreciate. I feel very good about that pick. I wish I could have paired it with Fast and Furious, but I'll have to make my 4th round pick after a quick break. Okay, Preston, what are we drafting tonight?
And we are drafting the best ways to support the Drafted Podcast. You've got first overall pick. What are you taking?
I have the number 1 pick. Wow. I mean, what a draft of the number 1 pick for. This is a no-brainer, Preston. I'm taking the drafted Patreon. There's no better way to support the show, as you well know.
Yeah, it was clearly the top of my board. It's
Yeah.
such a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can support us for as little as $3 a month. You get secret access to levels of the drafted Discord, where you get access just to me and Preston and the other subscribers and VIPs of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You also get to listen to episodes without this annoying commercial or any other commercial breaks in it, and you get the unedited cut of the pod as well. So, I mean, there really is no better way, both for us and for the listeners, to support the show.
Yeah, if you think we mess up on the cut you hear, oof, just wait until you get the actual unedited version. It's a good first pick, Dan. For the second pick, I'm going to take rating us 5 stars on iTunes. Very helpful.
Yeah.
And for my third pick there, I'll say following us on all of our channels, Twitter, Instagram, everything we've got. And I think draft is over, so we'll do my team versus your team.
Yeah, I mean, we got to send it to Twitter, but hey, maybe your vote will count extra too if you support us on Patreon.
I clearly won.
Okay, we are back for the second half of this draft. We will try not to let this half last an entire hour. I am going to take, I have one S tier film left, and it is one that I admittedly have not seen, but would like to see, and it is a big time cult classic and still kind of stays in that realm of absurd action movies, and that is Roadhouse.
This is like a cult classic. I've not seen it either, but it has the kicking.
Mm-hmm. It's got Patrick Swayze. You know, how can you top that? How can you?
John,
top
have
that?
you seen Roadhouse?
Yeah, it's a great movie. I was hoping that it would slide to me so I could double pick it here, but can't follow you, Daniel. Great pick.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate you saying that.
Just
What a good
kicked your strategy.
What a good friend you are, John.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do myself any favors because I feel like every time you guys make a pick, I just say, man, good pick. So
Boy, what a good pick.
I'm too much of a hype man. I need to maybe I should blast you guys a little bit more.
Do it.
Or just pretend to,
You got to lean into it, You really got to, you got to know where it's all an act. None of this is real.
What?
It's all for fun. Yeah.
Well, I thought you meant more in like a metaphysical sense. Like,
Yeah.
I do.
It's all a dream.
Yeah.
John, you're
That
not
is-
even here right now.
That is what I mean.
You're dreaming.
What?
Wake
We're in
up.
We're in a simulation.
You've wet the bed, John. Wake up.
Again? Dang it.
All right, Preston, what's your pick here?
All right. I'm going to lean very hard into the so bad it's good. This is a personal favorite of mine to watch because, God, is it just awful, but you can't help but love it. And that's Batman and Robin.
I knew you were going to take Batman. I knew you were going to take this. You love
I
Batman
know.
too much
And I think I could have
to not take it.
gotten it much later, but I wanted to make sure I got it because I do think it has like the curbside appeal of like, do you want to watch a really terrible Batman movie?
Mhm.
What's so great is the blurb on this they chose to use for the Ringers list is a quote from Joel Schumacher, who directed it, and it just says, "Look, I apologize," which is so good. It's a great lead.
Mhm.
What, like if I told you, do you want to watch a Batman movie where the director had to apologize after he made it? You're in.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, this is the George Clooney Batman, for those who don't know off the top of their heads.
Correct. And it's got a star-studded cast, man. You're
Yeah.
selling it short. It's got George Clooney. It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's got Uma Thurman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crushing it right now.
I will say, seeing like A-list top tier actors in really bad movies definitely heightens the enjoyment of it.
Super cathartic.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You just wonder, how the fuck did this happen? When
Yeah.
you see a bad movie,
Who
that
said
most people-
okay to this?
Yeah. When you see a bad movie that a bunch of people like you have never seen before and know you'll never see again, that kind of makes sense. But when you see George Clooney, Uma Thurman, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's like kind of a
Sure.
unique
It's
case,
his whole shtick.
yeah. But when you see George Clooney and Uma Thurman in a movie that is awful, that's a huge
Yes.
budget movie. It's like there's just something very alluring about it.
And you've brought me to what I think is the pinnacle of these movies, which is Cats. It's such to this extent that it's even hard to find. If you can actually find Cats, which I think I like illegally downloaded it at some point, just so I would always have it because I was afraid people were just going to remove it from existence.
Mhm.
It is fascinating. It's so much fun to watch because every 10 seconds there's a Academy Award winning performer doing the worst possible job. It's all the time. It's you're just constantly getting hit with it. It's so
Yeah.
good. So
It's
anyways,
mesmerizing,
everybody go watch Cats.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay,
John.
John.
We'll add it to the end of the marathon.
Yeah. An addendum pick. John,
Yes.
back to back once again.
Back to back.
Sorry, B to B.
B2B, baby. So it's getting, later in the day. We've watched 3 movies at this point, number 4. So I'm feeling like we should shake it up a little bit, get people nervous, get him a little bit different kind of energy, get him unsettled a little bit. So I'm gonna go with Final Destination as my next pick because it is one of the funny in a bad way, because the way that people are killed in this movie is absolutely insane. And I think that it just gets people, they're back in it. Like if they were out before, they're way back in because it's hilarious to watch, especially in a group. If you're by yourself, maybe a little sad, but as a group, great movie to watch.
You like literally can't look away.
Yeah.
No,
you can't look away
because
from
someone's dying every 2 seconds,
Yeah.
but then somehow they outrun death, which is great too. I love that.
I think of this movie every single time I'm on the highway and I'm behind
Yes.
like a truck with a bunch of like trees isn't the right word, but like big long pieces of lumber.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think about that all the time. It
All the
scares
time,
the living daylights out of me.
Roller
I tell you guys-
coaster, anything.
Just because what I'm doing here is I'm Googling the movies as they come up. Can I tell you guys the most searched question, according to Google, about the movie Final Destination from the year 2000?
Please.
We'll
Is Final Destination a true story?
Absolutely.
No, it's a bunch of true stories.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Love that.
Good pick. Good pick.
Thank
you.
I dig it.
Definitely
It's
have this on the
definitely a vibe shift for sure.
It's
Where
a
you're
vibe
right.
shift.
People are like, I'm gonna like doze off a little second. You're like, wait a second.
No, wake the
Nope.
hell up.
I
Yeah.
know you slept through White Chicks because I gave
Yeah.
you permission to do that.
Yeah.
Wake
Get
up.
your napping, wake up. And then I give them another one that's just completely different. And we go Wild Wild West right after that.
Oh,
And we go Wild Wild
I was
West.
gonna take Wild Wild West with my next pick. If
Oh,
you
really?
missed it. Yeah.
See,
It is
I think John
bizarre.
spared you here, Preston.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think this movie is very bad. I don't think though that it is so bad that it reaches the point of being enjoyable. I think it's just like straight up bad, and it's not fun to watch.
Let me tell you why it is.
It does have
enjoyably bad.
Lawrence brother
Let me
Will
tell
Smith
you a
in
little
it, though. I
something
will
Yeah.
give you
about
that.
the Wild
Yeah.
Wild West.
It is enjoyably bad because it has nothing. It is not wild. It's not wild, and it has nothing to do with the West, other than that they wear cowboy hats. It
That's
has
true.
to do with a bunch of machines in the desert, and it's incredible. It's almost like if someone made Max Fury or Mad Max Fury Road with like $5. That's pretty much what this movie is, and it's hilarious
And-
if you watch it that way.
but
Oh
all
my
five,
God.
all 5 went to paying the A-list cast.
Yeah, the $5 went to Will Smith. Yeah, and this is another movie that you guys talk about when you like everywhere you look is an A-list celebrity. Like
That is
can't-
true.
You cannot beat that.
I
And
just-
watching a train wreck happen.
To me, it just doesn't hit that sweet spot. To me, it's like it doesn't lean into being bad enough. Like they really tried to make this movie good, and it just fell short, but not so catastrophically that it is still enjoyable. I just think this movie is just like bad, and I don't want to watch it ever. That's how I feel about it. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
That's
To
fair.
me, it has such a weird, like iconography almost to
Yeah.
it, where like you look at the box and you're like, whoa, the
Yeah.
hell's
It is
going
very
on
weird.
here?
It is very weird.
And I think that might carry you through most of it. You get those weird little spider robots
Yep.
and people in cowboy hats.
Did you guys know that Will Smith chose to star in this movie over being Neo in The Matrix?
Oof.
He chose to
Oh.
star. Oh, so he turned down the Matrix for this.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That feels bad.
I mean, he still did pretty okay for himself, but
No.
I honestly think that was like history turned out okay with that. I really do.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think that.
Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
was pretty tight. So
But somewhere in the multiverse,
Yeah.
There's
Will
there's
Smith
Keanu
is
Reeves
the-
is
Will
in
Smith
Wild
is in
Wild
the,
West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Interesting. And Keanu Reeves makes Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Is that what happens?
Probably.
Maybe something like
Maybe.
that.
Maybe. Could
And
be.
Martin Lawrence has another brother. Multiple.
And they're all actors.
Yeah.
All right, Preston. What's your second to last selection here?
Well, I'm leaning into what Daniel said because I think he's onto something, although I had not said it in his clear terms. When you can see a very famous person doing something very stupid, there's something very alluring about that. I'm going to take Anaconda.
No, come
Oh,
on.
nice.
This is 2 in a row where you just absolutely sniped me.
I feel so good about that. I was going to try and save it to my last pick because I didn't think either of you two were going to be into
No,
it. So,
no
but now I
way
feel
it makes it
great.
back to you. Yeah, that's
Nice.
a great pick.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's a
definitely
great
wanted
pick.
it, so I feel good about it. John Voight, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, Ice Cube, and Danny Trejo are getting attacked by a giant snake.
John Voight as well, doing one of the worst accents in movie history.
It's so bad. It's so funny. God, this movie's fabulous.
Yeah.
I feel so good about it.
That's a great pick. It's an absolute steal this late in the draft, I think.
Yeah.
Absolute steal. I'm really upset about that. It's such a good pick. It's such a good, and like the thing is, like it like you said, it hits like the seeing really famous people. Although none of them are like great actors, I wouldn't say. Well, I mean, John Voight, like I would say, is a pretty good actor.
Jennifer Lopez has had a successful career.
Yeah, she's good.
She's been successful, but yeah, Anaconda definitely still holds the famous people in a really bizarre, weird movie. And it's like a very nice kind of transition from your action movies, Preston, but while still holding some of that element while adding a little extra. Like,
thanks, pal.
Horror, would you call it? I don't know. Yeah, I'm really angry at this. Pick.
Thriller, comedy thriller.
Sure,
Comedy
well,
thriller.
I don't. Is it? Yeah, sure. I think that's accurate. Yeah, so I'm pretty bummed. That was definitely gonna be one of my last 2 picks. So I'm not sure exactly where to go from here. There is a movie I could take that I think fills a very similar role, but I don't know how many people are familiar with it, particularly ones that are our age. So that one, it feels a little tough for me to take that. So I think I'm not going to. I think what I'll take instead is I'm gonna take The Last Action Hero.
Interesting.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is just such a valuable piece to have in any kind of scenario like this. And I there are people that genuinely like this movie. I think, like, I was a little surprised to see that it was on this list for being so poorly reviewed on Rotten Tomatoes. Because I think it's self-aware. Like it's a very, like, they really lean into the whole like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe this is where like they jump the shark with a little bit, but like the bad puns and such. But it's like, it's a good Arnie movie. So I think it fills a nice role here for my mindless TV marathon watching.
It is good. Anytime you can get Arnold Schwarzenegger on the screen, I think people are going to have a good time.
Exactly. He carries so much weight. He carries so much gravitas on the screen. Okay, so that sets up for my final pick. Where do I go here? I think I go a completely different direction. Because I start with one of the memeiest movies of all time. I think I'm going to end with one of the memeiest movies of all time, and that is Troll 2.
Nice.
Okay.
So I think it's a good pick. What I worry about here is not enough people know about this one.
They should. And if they don't know about it, they probably do know about it without realizing they know about it, because there are like several clips of this movie that have like gone pretty viral on online several times. It's like the worst acting in movie history and some of the worst writing in movie history. For example, it's called Troll 2, despite the fact there's not a single troll in the entire film. The villains are goblins. Like to the like specifically goblins, to the point where like the town they're in is Nilgob, which is goblin backwards. So they
just wanted to capitalize on the success of Troll 1.
Of Troll 1, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
Wait,
clearly.
Was there a Troll 1?
I think so.
I thought you were going to say it was called Troll 2, despite there not being a Troll 1. Yeah.
Okay, well now I just was assuming that there is a Troll 1. Yeah, there is. Yeah, Troll. It doesn't have like I feel like it has someone famous in it.
Yeah, it has Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in the first Troll movie.
Is she really?
Yeah.
That's a disappointment. My God.
As a child?
Hey, we all got to start somewhere. In 1986.
Oh, wow. She's not a child here.
No.
She's
Fabulous.
teenager.
Yeah, Sonny Bono as well. But yeah, the two movies are not connected really in any way, as far as I can tell, other than sharing a name. If you've seen any clip, it genuinely is the worst acting you've ever seen.
Worse than The Room.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Because
Harsh words.
the thing is, in the room, there are some people that, while there are no good actors in the room, there are some actors who aren't horrendous in the room. Now, of course, Tommy Wiseau is awful, but he, and he's kind of the star. But there's some like there are some performances that if they're in another film, like you wouldn't be like, wow, that's the worst acting I've ever seen. I think that's not the case in Troll 2. Every single
Everybody's
person in that
hitting
film
on no cylinders
is a
today.
heavy hitter. Yeah.
Nobody came to play.
Not a one.
Not a one.
And for that, it's absolutely incredible. And the premise is just so absurd. It is a deviation. Like I would have loved to have just gone like just 6 straight brainless action films, but I think The Room and Troll 2 are just too valuable for me to not take, and I kind of like bookending my draft with those two.
I like it.
Fair enough.
I like it. All right. Well, I'm deciding between two here. One of them is certainly one of my favorite bad movies to watch because I think it's so absurd. But I'm not sure a lot of people are really on that train with me, and they really don't think it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go with one that I think has a lot more a cult following and is so unbelievably different than any other movie I've got on this list.
Okay.
And I'm so excited that it lasted to the last round.
Wait.
Wow.
I have a guess.
I also have a guess.
I'm going to take the classic You Got Served.
Nice.
It's got such a different vibe than everything else I've got. I was just doing some Googling. I don't know that I've seen a wider range of critic to audience score on this one. The audience score is 69. Nice. The critic score is 14.
Oh, wow.
That's wild. That's a huge spread. I can't think of anything that's bigger than that. But anyways, I think You Got Served is just like a corny breakdance battling movie. Like,
this was
what
a
more
whole
do you want?
genre of film.
Yeah.
That's
in
what I'm
this time
saying.
for some
It
reason.
birthed
Yeah.
the whole genre, yeah.
Yeah.
With our B2K, Omarion fans out there and the rest of the B2K, give $100 to anyone who can name them. Great choice, because it gets the people dancing at the end of the marathon.
Right.
You've been sitting for a while, you get up,
Yeah.
you stand up, you're
It's
dancing
high
around.
energy, but it's
Love
also
that.
kind of funny because it's going to be so dated. Like all the dance moves are going to be really, really dated. It's going to be funny, but it's going to be very high energy.
Love it.
Yeah, this is a nice pick to round things out.
Thank you.
Yeah. My final pick. And I feel like this is one, Daniel, you were going to pick earlier, but you were nervous that not enough people had seen. But I'm going to end it with this one. Another movie with quite a few famous people. I'm going to go Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, that's not the one.
Oh,
Whoa.
really? Dang.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Deep
Whoa.
Blue Sea.
Also a good one though.
A great Samuel L. Jackson movie where he essentially just plays himself.
That's always when he's at his best.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great. One shark just invades a submarine where they are, and it's all mayhem. LL Cool J's in it. A lot of people, Ada Turturro from The Sopranos. Anyone who's a Sopranos fan, she's in it. There's some decent people in it, and it makes it fun. And the way the shark just kills people, LL Cool J sets water on fire and sets the shark on fire, which is wild. It's a good time. Check it out.
Yeah,
This does
I
look
feel like
fun.
this one has some iconic clips as well. Is this the one where
Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson is screaming at the shark and then the shark just eats him?
Yes,
Right after
the
yeah.
shark just he has a great monologue and then the shark just kills him immediately. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is really good. A great viral clip. And any movie at this stage that has a great viral clip is a really good choice. I think it was not the movie that I thought you were going to go with, but I think this is a better one probably than the one I was actually thinking of.
Oh, well, maybe it makes the second cut.
Yeah, we do have plenty more to discuss after the draft, of course. But first, here are each of our movie marathons. John has White Chicks, Demolition Man, Mission Impossible 2, Final Destination, Wild Wild West, and Deep Blue Sea. Preston has Godzilla, of course, the 1998 Godzilla starring Matthew Broderick, Con Air, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Batman and Robin, Anaconda, and You Got Served. And then I have The Room, Bad Boys 2, Triple X, Roadhouse, The Last Action Hero, and Troll 2. We have so much more to discuss. We'll do so after a quick break.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite host here to ask you on behalf of the Appen Podcast Network, our parent network, to go check out some of their other shows. I'm partial to the Georgia Politics Podcast. I'm a host there every week. We play games at the end of every episode, trivia. Great way to stay in touch with local issues going on here in Georgia, but we also touch on national things too. Would really appreciate if you come give us a listen. Check out everything the Appen Podcast Network has going on at appenmedia.com, APPENMEDIA.com.
Okay, we are back. Of course, as always, the first question of the segment of the show that I ask, what was the worst pick of the draft?
Oh, I mean, this is tough. They're all pretty bad, right?
Yeah, that was the point of the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was, from that point of view, what was the best pick then?
Well, I feel bad. I feel bad about this. I'm going to have to say Troll 2, just because I don't think enough people know the movie. So when it comes to the vote, people are going to be like, with Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick, and they're going to be like, why is Trolls 2 World Tour beloved film on Daniel's list?
I didn't think of the Trolls movies, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, so I'm concerned about how that's going to reflect.
Yeah,
I'm sure watching it, I'd have a great time, but yeah.
Yeah, so Troll 2 is the one where the guy looks up and there's all these horrible goblins eating just green matter. And then he's like, oh no, they're eating her. And then they're gonna eat me. And it's the worst. Like my performance is so much better than the actual performance that happens. It has 12 million views on YouTube or something. And there's a fly on his forehead. They couldn't get a take where the fly wasn't on his forehead for some reason.
I'm rewatching this clip right now, and it is really something.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that.
There goes the fly.
Not the Justin Timberlake. I guess generally, positively thought of as a children's movie. Not that. So yeah, I didn't even thought of it. Is that? I don't know. I really don't know. Preston seems to think it is. And
I liked it. I thought it was cute. Yeah. I like all movies. It's actually legitimately kind of hard to get me to say, no, this was bad and it has no redeeming value.
Trolls has a 6.4 on an Internet Movie Database and a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What does Trolls 2 have though? Because I feel like Trolls 2 might have been more favorable.
Oh really? No, but very similar. Six on Internet Movie Database, 71% on Rotten Tomatoes.
For a kids movie, I'd say it's not bad.
Yeah, not often.
It's better than a 2.9 on IMDb.
It's much better rated than the vast majority of movies that we selected. At least in terms of Rotten Tomatoes. Wait, what has a 5%?
Trolls 2. And the top critic consensus for Trolls 2 is just, oh my god.
Oh, Trolls 2.
Stop conflating these two films.
Troll 2, John. God damn it. He did it on purpose.
God.
He did that on purpose.
Troll 2, yeah.
Now you're you're messing with the voters.
Yeah. God damn it,
It does
John.
have a 44% audience review. It's pretty high.
John, what about you? What do you think was the worst pick?
I'm gonna probably. I agree that Troll 2 is
Come
up there,
on.
just because. Yeah,
It's a good pick.
I feel like you're gonna lose your marathoners because you had a solid lineup until then.
This is
I
late
think
night.
people are.
This is late night when people are ready for a vibe change.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to serve more than ice cream to get people.
People
in
are
on
ready
that vibe.
for some to make them a little horny. Late night with some Troll 2.
Interesting.
Should have gone with
Interesting.
Dreamgirls.
I should have. Let's see. I mean, I get it. I think Troll 2 is just so bad that it is enjoyable to watch. So I think it is a good pick. I will defend it. I honestly think Godzilla was the worst pick. I think going that early, I don't think Godzilla is just kind of in. I think if you could remove yourself, Preston, from like your love of it as a child, which I know is very tough. That is something I struggle with as well. When you're like tied nostalgia wise to something, it's hard to see it for what it really is. And Godzilla is bad, but like not so bad that it becomes enjoyable to watch. It to me, it is kind of like that Wild Wild West. Although less extreme than Wild Wild West. I think Wild Wild West was also a bad pick, but Godzilla went in the first round. So I think I have to give that as my worst pick.
Alternatively, I'm watching a clip of Godzilla eat a helicopter out of the sky. So I think maybe you're wrong.
Well,
Yeah, I think more people will relate to the nostalgia of Godzilla going number one, and I think Troll 2. Sorry, it's
Get him,
dropping.
John. Get him.
I mean,
Light him up.
You have to look at it when it was taken, you know. I also will say I think overall, like there weren't any. I didn't think there were any glaringly bad picks. I think
No.
we all drafted pretty well. So I don't want Preston to feel like I'm picking on him. It wasn't like an atrocious pick by any means. It was much higher than I've taken it personally. What were some movies that you guys had on your lists that you were prepared to take, but for whatever reason ended up not going with at the end of the day?
So I had two, and I think I very correctly went with You Got Served at the end instead of the other two. It was not that hard of a decision. One of them was She's All That, which is just an awful rom-com, but like super funny. Probably didn't age very well. It's been a while since I've seen it. The other, and what I think is one of the worst movies ever made, no question, is Catwoman. Halle Berry's Catwoman is so bad, but it's hysterical because they mess with like she becomes a cat. Like nobody who made this movie knew what Catwoman was, and they're like, well, I would presume she starts like licking herself to clean herself, and she starts drinking milk out of saucers.
Milk.
And like,
please be careful.
What are you doing? It is wild. This movie. It's the stunts in it are so bad. Like you can like see the like wiring in it. It's so ridiculous. I invite everybody to go watch this movie. It's a personal favorite of mine, but I think I made the right call.
Yeah. Also had She's All That because it's a great movie. And then the other one I had was Speed 2 Cruise Control, which I think is just another nonstop bad action movie. Like it doesn't get old. You can watch it 1,000 times, and I didn't think it would relate as well to the audience. You know, I didn't want to lose the crowd, even though I probably already lost them.
At least he's self-aware. I had both of those. Well, I also had She's All That. Also, so Congo was the movie that I thought John was going to take that has all the famous people in it. It seems to have a very like Jurassic Park combined with King Kong vibes, but just like way, way, way worse than both of those, and has a lot of very comedic, over the top, very dramatic scenes that aren't particularly acted very well.
I've never seen this, but it looks
Me neither.
wild.
Watch some clips. The clips are gold.
It looks so good.
So I think I would have liked to have taken this, but this confirms my suspicion, which is that people would not have known it well enough for it to be a valuable pick. I also had Mortal Kombat as on my list. And then I think what I probably should have taken rather than Troll 2 at the end of my draft, because I was frustrated when Preston took Con Air, because Nicolas Cage is such a valuable player in a draft like this. I think I should have gone Wicker Man with my last pick instead.
This is the one with the bees.
Yes. Yeah.
It is.
That's all I know about it.
The bees. That's all you need to know, Preston.
Oh, okay.
That's all you need to know. All right, boys. That concludes my post-draft questioning. Apart from the final question, of course, whose movie marathon would you most like to watch? And then, of course, if you pick your own, be a good sport and give us a runner-up second place here.
I'm feeling really good about my performance. I actually feel like I kind of knocked it out of the park here.
Yeah, you did
So-
have some really good picks.
I think I did very, very, very well. I don't think anybody's going to look at this and like not understand the vibe of the movie I chose. Even if they haven't seen it, they're like, oh, well, I kind of get it though.
Yeah.
Second place, I would probably pick Daniel, just because The Room and Triple X is like a really great like back to back. Although I don't think you drafted those back to back, but I imagine watching those back to back and feeling like I'm in a mood.
Yeah.
So I like that. Sorry, John.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna pick myself because let's face it. You've got comedy, you've got action, you've got horror, you've got everything you want in a movie marathon, and you get to watch it with me, and we'll get to laugh the whole time. We'll have some fun. We'll have jokes. We'll cry. We'll be scared together. We'll build a community of just friendship with
John's
others
gonna do
while
the
we watch
yawn,
movie marathon.
the
That's
yawn,
sweet. Yeah.
reach around,
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll get
Halfway
to tell
through Deep Blue Sea or whatever it's called.
great movie.
That sounds like a delightful time, John.
Yeah, you'll have fun, but like you said, runner up. If I had to pick a runner up, it'd probably be Preston. I think Preston had a good draft. I think he picked more movies that people know and can relate to. Yeah. No offense, Daniel. I think they're all pretty close, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think
No.
it's gonna come down to what you like the most.
I do actually have John's line of reasoning there actually spurred another question. For a movie marathon, do you want a variety, or do you kind of just want to like fall into a vibe that you just ride until you're ready to get out? Because I think I lean towards the latter for a movie
I
marathon.
kind of do too, but only so much of that. So I feel like the ordering here, I could scale it in a way where like you're watching action, and then really bad action, and then really funny action, and then you're just watching really funny. Like you can like order it around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I
think
mean, people want to watch all the Fast and Furious movies.
Right.
They don't want to like break them up with like rom-coms in between, you know?
Right. Mhm.
I think it depends because when you watch a comedy for a long time, you just get tired of laughing. You just like run out of the
Run out
ability
of
to
laugh.
laugh. Yeah, and so
Because
I
you're
think
always
it's-
expecting jokes. Yeah.
Right. So I think it's important to have a variety, and I think if you can have some action that's engaging you and some scares that's like coming towards you, so you don't have to feel so engaged in everything that's happening. I think that maybe a little variety is good.
I think my pick is Preston too. I don't like the Godzilla pick, as I said. But I think every other pick is very good here. I mean, there were multiple times where this I feel like hasn't happened a ton this season, actually. And I'm not exactly sure why that was, but there were Preston multiple times like absolutely sniped me on a pick that I was like really looking forward to getting. So I think Preston has to be my pick here.
I appreciate that, despite your just poor taste and judgment. I just kind of wish you could enjoy a movie. You know what I mean?
Here, I enjoy plenty of movies. This is the vast majority of Will. I did it again. Will Ferrell movies, not Will Smith.
Daniel, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is
The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't have to be your absolute favorite. Like one of your favorites. What's a movie you go back
Like
to
a
time and time
feel
again?
good
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
well, I don't know that I describe it as feel good, but It's a Wonderful Life is absolutely one of my favorite movies.
We've talked about that a lot. That's good. It's hard for me to argue against that.
Then the 1946 It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm. Is that when it came out?
Is there a different one?
I'm just making sure there wasn't a different one.
And with James Stewart.
Yeah.
What's your favorite comedy?
Do you not have a point to
Daniel?
that question, John?
No, Daniel, I have a point here. What's your
Nope.
favorite comedy?
Favorite comedy? That's tough. I think my favorite comedy might be Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
From 1974.
So I think you're either a Mel Brooks person or like a Will Ferrell person.
Or you're an 80-year-old man living in a young
That
man's body.
that part is true. But listen, I like
Mm.
The Other Guys a lot. I think The Other Guys is hilarious. Definitely one of my favorite comedies for sure. No question.
Okay.
You know who else loves The Other Guys?
Will Ferrell.
My grandfather's favorite movie.
I hope that's true, John. I hope that's sincerely true. That does finally conclude tonight's show. I don't know how Preston's going to edit this one.
God.
I'm not going to be able to listen to it after. I'll tell you that. I hope you guys enjoyed it, though. John, thank you so much for coming on. I forgot what an agent of chaos you are, but I appreciate you coming on all the same.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Sorry, Preston. Always a good time. Thanks for having me.
John gave Preston a lot of work tonight. That is for sure.
Yeah.
John, why don't you we talked about it kind of throughout the episode, really, but why don't you give us your elevator pitch for people to go listen to your own podcast?
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be dropping our newest episode, The Northman, on our podcast, Everyone's a Real Critic. That's where my co-host Jose and I look at movies on Rotten Tomatoes that have a 20% difference between the critic score and the audience score, and we let you know who got it right, the critics or the audience. We'd love to have you guys on.
Yeah, you said that like 3 months ago.
But then I want to
have him on for Step Brothers. Does Step Brothers really qualify here?
I'll have you on for Step Brothers or some kind of rom-com. Daniel, I know you like rom-com, so we'll have you. We gotta have you guys on. That way you can be agents of chaos on someone else's podcast.
Yeah.
And then I will edit it.
A little tit for tat.
Yeah.
If I may, I would like to plug something as well. Preston, do you think that would be all right?
Sure, pal.
Is it stamps.com?
It is not stamps.com or random.org. No, this is actually kind of serious. I am doing my first ever charity stream on the Sunday after the release of this episode on Twitch, twitch.tv/dap_sauce. I'll be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be raising money for the Bridged Alliance, which is a very highly rated charity, 100 out of 100 on Charity Navigator. It raises money to provide abortions to help people get to abortion safely, and people that are kind of in, states where it is now very difficult to get to them, and takes care of lodging, scheduling appointments, childcare, every single thing and cost a person could need, takes care of that for them. And in light of very recent Supreme Court decisions, I think that is a very important cause to support right now. So I'd really appreciate if you guys would come through, try to make a donation if you can afford it. If not, just come hang out on my Twitch. I would really appreciate it a lot. It's a cause that's very important to me and should just really be important to kind of everyone who is a rational thinking human being right now. So
and I'll
that's
be
my
there
plug.
for something.
Yes, Preston will be there. I'll be playing a lot of community games. You guys can come hang out, play games with me. It should be a good time, and we'll be supporting a good cause. So that would definitely mean a lot to me if you guys would come through for that. Otherwise, really appreciate y'all listening to this episode. You guys know where to hit us up: Discord, Twitch, Instagram. Be sure to vote for the winner of this episode, as always. Otherwise, we'll talk to y'all next week.
Thanks to stamps.com for sponsoring this episode.
Shout out Stamps.com.
Shout out Stamps.